we had a lazy inbounds pass to start the fourth. Our ball, you got to, I think we were up 8 maybe. I can't remember what it was exactly. 6. Fourth quarter, like you get the ball first. You got to get something good, get a bucket, get a stop. And they got an immediate steal because we were just careless with against their pressure. So they took it to us and obviously, got the lead there early in the fourth. So love the way our guys responded. I think games like these, when you're, in a little bit of a rut, you just have to find a way to win, and that's the only way to get your momentum back. And so I'm very proud of the guys for the way they fought and came back. And Steph was sublime down the stretch. That was unreal. I mean, we've seen him do this over and over again, but it never ceases to amaze me what that guy is capable of.
What does it do for a team when Steph scores 12 consecutive points while this game is going back and forth? Well,
it gave us confidence, and I think that's the biggest issue when you're struggling and you're maybe emotionally spent a little bit. You have to find confidence, and so I think Steph just infuses us with confidence.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Jane.
Brandin, also, during this scoring spurt for Steph and also Klay's big threes, Brandin had a couple key rebounds and a steal. And how much is he just doing the little things on both ends?
That's why he's out there. He's one of the reasons we want him out there with Steph is to give us another playmaker, another ball handler. The play you referenced, I thought, was one of the biggest of the game where Steph got trapped. He kicked it to Brandin, and Brandin found Klay on the wing for that 3. Huge play, and that's an example of why he's out there. 3 steals. He's just in the mix. He's like one of those guys who's just always in the right spot because he sees the game and he anticipates. So Brandin is earning his stripes here in his rookie year.
You were talking about the fourth quarter, to Monty's question. You guys have played a lot of close, tight games. Daryl said it's your 12th consecutive clutch game. What allowed you guys to close out this game versus some of those other ones that you've dropped?
Steph. You want me to elaborate on that? Yeah. I got to give credit to JK. He came out, maybe the 4-minute mark of the third. Didn't go back to him because Wiggs was playing well, and I decided to stay with Wiggs, and then we inserted him for that last possession, and he got a hand on that shot from Bridges. So JK stayed ready and made a huge winning play with the block down the stretch, and that and Steph just taking over is really the key.
Steph was kind of outwardly emotional tonight, maybe more than usual. Did you feel from him a point in the season that he kind of needed to power you guys to a win?
That he
just kind of felt emotionally he kind of needed to power you guys to a win tonight.
Yeah, Steph's he's been through a lot. The last few days with the Draymond news, and he's had to carry this team. Let's be honest. For the first quarter of the season, we just haven't been able to build momentum and find lineups that are clicking, and so he's carried us. And then the Draymond news, I think he was emotionally spent the last few days, frankly, and it was a slow start tonight. Didn't look like he had it, and then as he's done so often, he flipped the switch, and you can kind of see it when it happens right away. And he was incredible, and that's what we needed. As I said, we're in a bit of a rut, and your best players have to get you out of that.
Steve, it looked like tonight was one of those nights he had, the ball he was creating, and I know that's been a perennial debate, but how much of that is like Steph deciding, all right, I got a matchup, let me take this, because I'm sure if he says, go give me the ball, you won't resist him, right?
I always want him with the ball, and the way they were guarding, they were kind of switching everything, and then they started trapping him at the end. So the biggest thing is for everybody to make themselves available. If he's running pick and roll or ISO, and they send 2 at him, everyone's got to be ready to make themselves available for the pass, because if you can get it out, now it's 4-on-3. And it's one of Steph's, I think, one of his sort of underrated gifts is his ability to get the ball out of traffic to create advantages for us.
Are they better at that, being ready? Do you think the other?
Yeah, I think they're getting better. I think we've worked on it quite a bit, and we're running more pick and roll this year than ever, and so teams are sending more traps and they're hits like they were when they were doubling them at half court, and so everyone's just got to be ready to get the proper spacing and then to make the right play from there.
Steve, as you mentioned, Steph's carried this team at times, many times. How, as great as he was tonight, how conscious or worried are you about too much burden on him? I mean, and along those lines, the last 2 games since Draymond's suspension, for Klay to play like he has, how sort of urgent is it that Steph gets help going forward?
It's definitely a factor. We need guys to to step in and help him. He's been as I said earlier, he's been carrying us for much of the season. So it's fun to see. Brandin plays so well. I thought Wiggs came off the bench and really gave us a lift. And obviously, as you mentioned, Klay the last couple games. So we're getting there. We needed to win this one, and I feel like we have an opportunity now to settle into the season a little bit and build some momentum.
I guess a quick follow-up. Brandin being out there with Steph, it seems like they have some rapport or synergy. How do you see the way they have been working together these last couple games?
It's one of the reasons that was the way we decided to go when we changed the lineup. Brandin is he's a playmaker. He reads the game. He sees it. He makes the game easier for Steph because you got a secondary ball handler, passer, and a shot maker too. So he's a big part of this revamped lineup is getting Brandin out there with Steph.
Sorry if you've covered this already, but what are some reasons why you're running more pick and roll this year than ever?
I think getting Chris Paul. He's obviously a phenomenal pick and roll player, and then just personnel. The off ball stuff has traditionally been most effective with certain rosters, where especially teams with a lot of passing and vision, and so I think this year's team is more suited to play more spread pick and roll, and that's why we're doing that.
Does that change at all without Draymond?
Not really. I mean, obviously Draymond's incredible in pick and roll, but we're still going to run it with the other guys too. Great. Thanks.